What's up guys, Americana here back with another video. Today we're going to be getting into the indicator that helps me sell crypto tops with no charting and with no technical analysis needed. Everybody wants the perfect chart indicator to call the top. But what if the best signal is actually not on the charts? It could be right here in your pocket. Every time Coinbase has gotten into the top 20 or the #1 spot in the App Store, I know the market is in deep euphoria. And in this video I'm going to show you how I've used this signal to exit early before the last two major crashes. No fibs, no EMAs, no RSI, no MACD, just psychology and positioning. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so for this example, I'm going to show you two instances of a very long-term Bitcoin chart. This is Bitcoin since its creation, okay? And I want to emphasize the point that these tops that come in here are not technical tops, right? No matter how bad you want them to be. They are psychological and emotional tops, right? It is led by retail euphoria. It is hard. I mean, you can't blame retail, right? It's hard to not get euphoric when an asset does something like this, right? When an asset spends 2 years down here and goes absolutely vertical for 4 months straight, it's hard not to get euphoric, okay? But we can use that to signal when we need to be exiting the market. I'll give you another example. Look how far I have to zoom in here. I mean, I can't even fit this on my chart. This is what absolute euphoria looks like, and it's over before you know it. It's always over before you know it. So how are we going to stay ahead of it? By the time you're up in here and your Uber driver and your grandma is telling you about Dogecoin and Bitcoin and that you need to be in crypto, bro, you should buy crypto, bro, crypto's up, bro, it's already too late. It's already too late, bro. It's already too late for you. Retail is always going to be the final wave of liquidity. They buy the top thinking they're getting in early, thinking they've somehow magically found a way that they're going to print the next 100x, when in actuality, they're buying the top. And where do they go first? Dun dun dun. Coinbase, all right? They all download Coinbase thinking they're going to make $1 million. That is why this signal actually works. When you see Coinbase in the top 20, when you see Coinbase in the top 10, this should be a huge warning sign to you as a bit of a more sophisticated investor, as a smart money style investor. This should be a massive warning sign to you. All right, so if you don't believe me, let's look at the receipts. Let's dive in. As always, I'm always going to provide the data behind what I'm speaking on. The last two times we've had Coinbase in the #1 spot has marked this top and has marked this top, right? These are bear market tops or bull market tops before a bear market, okay? This here, you know, just a little 83% crash, you know, just a little 78% or 76% crash, right? Something slight, okay? And then in addition to that, in these red shaded boxes, I have Coinbase breaking into the top 20. As you can see, it's done a great job of marking local tops as well. And then obviously when it's in the #1 spot, it's also in the top 20, okay? It's done a great job of marking tops. You see Coinbase in the top 20, might want to think about getting out. You see it in the #1 spot, you better run like hell. It's simple behavioral economics, right? We'll dive into it in a second about who's selling to who in these types of situations. But if you watch my other videos, you watch what I have to say about price, you watch what I have to say about buyer-seller dynamic, all of these things tie together, okay? Simple behavioral economics, right? Retail herds into the top, driven by FOMO. So when I see Coinbase start trending, I start trimming exposure, right? And I will avoid the worst of the drawdown by doing that. Let's break down who's selling to who, how this actually works, who's the real winners here, right? Smart money gets in first, right? Smart money, people with technical analysis, people with years of experience in crypto, they are buying bottoms, okay? They are timing bottoms with perfection. They are full porting their portfolios in at the bottoms, right? They have the upper hand when it comes to selling later on in the cycle, okay? Who do they sell to? Institutions, right? What did we see this cycle, right? We saw ETFs, they didn't come in until about $50,000, $60,000, right? Why did ETFs not come in at, I don't know, 20,000? Why did they not save us from FTX and come in at the bottom, right? Because that's not what they're in the business of doing, okay? They have to wait until there's somewhat of a little bit of hype driven behind it so they can build up their own hype behind a product, because when they sell a product, when they sell a Bitcoin ETF, when they sell whatever, they're making money, right? Okay, so institutions will come in and scoop some of this Bitcoin up and other crypto assets and projects and things like that from smart money. And institutions aren't smart either, right? Institutions aren't very smart either. They'll back the stupidest projects. VCs will back the dumbest coins that do nothing, right? While ignoring stuff that actually has utility, right? They'll do the dumbest things. But guess what? They have an ass pile of money behind them, right? They have the newspapers. They have the politicians. They have the media. And they have the money, okay? They got it all. So what can they do? Start pumping price. Drop a couple stories, maybe some media coverage, things like that. We get price to pump again, okay? Now, who's interested? What have they absolutely spoon-fed you as a retail investor, right? You think Bitcoin's going to $1 million. You think Bitcoin's going to $1 billion. It's already up 400%, dog. It's already up 500%. It's already up 1,000%. It ain't going nowhere else. It's up. It's over. It's done. You missed it. But you don't know that because you're being spoon-fed these stories that when it's at the bear market and smart money and institutions want to accumulate, what stories do they spoon-feed you there, right? Stuff to make you scared, stuff to make you fearful, stuff to make you laugh at everybody who said they're a crypto investor, right? There's been some awkward Thanksgiving dinners with me, right? Oh, bro, how's the crypto stuff going? I heard FTX collapsed. Oh, you must be hurting pretty bad. That's when I know it's time to buy more. Right? Because 2 Thanksgivings from now, 3 Thanksgivings from now, they're going to be like, yeah, I scooped a little bit of Doge up myself. I bought a little SHIB. I'm put a couple thousand into Ethereum. Exit liquidity, bro. You're cooked. You're cooked. Okay? Whew. I get passionate about that stuff sometimes. You guys caught my passion tonight. But let's continue the video. Okay? So, smart money has the opportunity, always going to have the upper hand. They can dump on institutions. Institutions are happy to scoop it up. Institutions are happy to push it by pumping the price, pushing through media, and then dumping right on your head, right? And you're sitting there going, oh, please dump on me. Please dump on me. I want the dump, right? That's what you guys look like sometimes, all right? So flow of money here ties into my buyer-seller dynamics. I'll probably throw it in the top over here. Okay, in this video, why price is the most important indicator as well will be somewhere over there. Okay, make sure you guys check out those other videos. All right, so with that, we're gonna wrap this video up. It's a rather simple video. I'm not saying that this is the end-all be-all of my technical analysis when it comes to selling tops in the crypto market. But if you had to pick one thing, if you were not a technical person, if you did not have a TradingView account to even look at charts, okay? You have an iPhone, you have an Android, and those all have app stores, right? And you can go on there every day and you could look and you could time market tops and market bottoms simply by that, okay? This is all psychology based. Crypto is so volatile that you don't even need charts, you need psychology. You need to be able to tap into the emotional zeitgeist of the market as a whole, and you really will be able to tell what is going to happen next. And people will call you wrong for a little bit. There's 3 to 4 weeks when Bitcoin might continue on. It might go another 10, 5, 15%, right? But in the grand scheme of things, you know what these signals mean, okay? So let's make sure we're using them, guys. Let's make sure we're using them. Stay safe, okay? I appreciate you guys staying to the end and watching. To express my gratitude, I have a full PDF breakdown of my entire system, which involves accumulating bottoms, selling tops, emotional anchoring throughout the entire process, what it takes to get there, the whole breakdown, my entire system, absolutely free. Just click the link in my bio. It's under free PDFs, okay? If you want to join my free Discord, there's one that says Discord above that. Go ahead and join. I would love to see you guys inside. We are a growing community, okay? We've had our first couple clients come on. Things are starting to move. Things are getting rolling, and you guys don't want to miss it. You guys want to be a part of this, okay? We're going to be focused on multiplying wealth, and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm not going anywhere in this market. I'm not leaving this market. I will be around as long as you guys allow me, and as long as I'm wanted, and as long as I'm able to help anybody, okay? So, peace, love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.